Hey man, silence is the most underrated weapon a man can have. Most men think they need to talk their way back into a woman's life, prove their worth, or beg for another chance. But women don't return to the man who talks. They return to the man who stays silent. Because silence isn't emptiness. It's pressure, it's mystery. It's a mirror that forces her to face herself. And that's exactly why it pulls her back in ways words never could. When you go silent, she doesn't see it as indifference at first. She sees it as a test. And since the female mind is wired to overanalyze, your silence opens 1,000 doors of interpretation. Each one makes her question what she really meant to you. Did you stop caring? Did she lose her hold on you? Did she push you too far? Suddenly, she's not thinking about her freedom or new options anymore. She's thinking about your absence. That's the first reason silence brings her back. Because it steals her peace. A man who stays silent communicates something rare: self-control. Most men chase, plead, and pour out emotion when they're left. That makes the woman feel secure in her dominance, even if she was miserable in the relationship. But when you remain silent, you break the pattern. You show her you won't hand her the validation she's expecting. That control flips the script. Suddenly, she's the one needing you. Silence also creates contrast. When she's used to your attention, your messages, your presence, and all of that disappears, the void becomes deafening. Women thrive on the consistency of validation. Even if they won't admit it, your silence becomes a withdrawal from her emotional drug. And withdrawal always creates craving. The space she thought she wanted becomes the very thing she can't handle. Silence forces accountability too. As long as you're talking, she has someone to blame, to argue with, to project onto. But when you're silent, she's left alone with her choices. She has to face how she treated you, and the image of you walking away without a word. That realization stings because it removes her ability to play the victim. Silence speaks strength, a language no woman can ignore. A man who doesn't react proves he's above the moment. He's not controlled by emotions, not swayed by manipulation, not desperate for reassurance. That kind of strength is magnetic. Your silence says, "I don't need you to validate me." And that unshakable energy draws her back. Here's the paradox. Women often leave because they think they can do better, but they come running back when silence shows them they can't. While she's out chasing attention, she expects you to be waiting. But when you're not, the comparisons begin. Every man she meets feels weaker, needier, more predictable. And suddenly, the man who stayed silent looks like the only one who truly had value. Silence also fuels imagination. Words have limits, but silence lets her mind build stories far more powerful than anything you could ever say. She imagines you moving on, thriving, laughing with someone else. Her mind exaggerates those fears until they become unbearable. And that's what pulls her back. A silent man also awakens her competitive nature. Women hate being replaced. They want to believe they're unforgettable. But your silence suggests you might actually be better off without her. That unspoken message hits her pride. She comes back not just out of love, but to prove she still matters. Silence is a mirror. When she throws anger, frustration, or indifference at you and you don't react, all of that energy reflects back at her. She's left wondering why she feels unsettled if she didn't care. And that confusion exposes the emotions she tried to hide. Silence ages well. Words fade, get twisted, or forgotten. But silence grows heavier with time. Each day she doesn't hear from you, the weight increases, until it becomes unbearable. The silence that once felt like relief turns into torment, and the only way to end it is to reach out to you. Silence separates men. Any man can beg or over-explain, but few can remain calm, detached, and composed. That rarity increases your value. The more she realizes how uncommon your silence is, the more she feels she let go of something rare. Silence exposes the truth. Words can fake confidence or strength, but silence can't be faked. When you remain grounded, she sees your value was never based on talk. It was based on self-respect. Silence resets the power dynamic. When she left, she thought she held the cards, but silence takes them back. Power isn't in leaving, it's in not chasing. And that's when she starts chasing you. Silence also awakens curiosity. Nothing hooks a woman's mind more than a man she can't read. Why didn't he call? Why isn't he chasing? What's he doing now? That curiosity turns into obsession, and obsession pulls her back. A man who stays silent sets standards. He refuses to beg, to lose dignity, or to tolerate disrespect. His silence says, "I'd rather lose you than lose myself." That conviction makes him irreplaceable. Silence also triggers her fear of loss. The idea of being truly forgotten terrifies her. When your silence lasts longer than she expected, she starts wondering if she miscalculated. That fear creates urgency, and urgency makes her act. Silence reframes the story. When she left, she thought you were weak, but now she's the one being ignored. That shift hits her pride, and that's where her chase begins. Silence gives her space to reflect. Without your presence to distract her, she sees her own mistakes. She realizes the difference between a man who needs her and a man who chooses her, and that realization pulls her back. Silence is deeply masculine, calm, grounded, and composed. A man who stays silent shows his world doesn't revolve around one person. That energy is magnetic. Women always return to masculine stability grounded in silence. Silence also breaks expectations. Women expect men to chase, to explain, to argue. Silence breaks the pattern. It makes you unpredictable, and unpredictability keeps her hooked. Finally, silence proves something no words can: that you value yourself. When you don't beg for scraps of attention, you show strength, options, and peace. That self-assured energy is what draws her back, because silence doesn't push or pull. It simply exists, and in its stillness, it pulls her closer, stronger with each passing day, until the silence itself becomes too heavy to bear, and she runs back to the man who never said a word. If you would like to support us in our charitable donation campaign by clicking "Thank you very much" below the video, I would be very grateful to you and be a partner with us in making people happy.